Imagine this for a moment. Two people graduate in the same year. One lands a prestigious job with a six-figure salary. The other takes a modest-paying role, but quietly invests on the side. 10 years later, one is still dependent on a paycheck, stressed about layoffs, inflation, and long hours. The other has options, time, freedom, flexibility, and income arriving even when they sleep. Here's the uncomfortable question most people avoid. Why does a high salary often fail to create real wealth, while silent cash flow quietly wins the long game? This video isn't about hype or overnight success. It's about understanding how money actually works over decades, backed by real data, real outcomes, and economic reality. If you've ever wondered why so many high earners still feel financially trapped, or how ordinary people build extraordinary financial stability, stay with me, because this might completely change how you think about income. At first glance, a high salary seems like the ultimate goal. Society celebrates it. Job titles, promotions, and income brackets are treated as markers of success. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median annual wage for full-time workers in the United States was about $59,384 in 2023. Anyone earning significantly above that is statistically successful. And yet, numerous studies show that income alone does not equal wealth. A 2022 report by Lending Club found that over 50% of Americans earning more than $100,000 per year were still living paycheck to paycheck. Even among those earning over $250,000, a substantial portion reported the same struggle. This isn't because these individuals are unintelligent or irresponsible. It's because salary income is structurally fragile. A salary depends on continued labor. It stops when you stop working, lose the job, face burnout, or experience health issues, and the income disappears. On top of that, salaries are taxed aggressively. In many developed countries, earned income is taxed at higher marginal rates than capital gains or passive income. In the U.S., for example, high earners can face combined federal and state marginal tax rates exceeding 40%, while long-term capital gains are taxed at significantly lower rates for most investors. This is the first quiet disadvantage of a high salary. You work harder for every dollar, and you keep less of it. Now let's talk about cash flow, specifically what we mean by silent cash flow. Silent cash flow refers to income streams that operate in the background. They don't require daily effort, constant decision-making, or public recognition. Examples include rental income, dividends from stocks, interest from bonds, royalties, or profits from businesses that run without your active involvement. The key difference isn't just effort, it's scalability and resilience. Take dividends as an example. According to data from Standard & Poor's, dividends have accounted for roughly 30% to 40% of total stock market returns in the U.S. over the past century. Companies like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and Coca-Cola have paid and increased dividends for decades through wars, recessions, inflation spikes, and market crashes. An investor who reinvested dividends consistently over long periods benefited not only from income but from compounding growth. Compounding is where silent cash flow begins to quietly outperform salary. Albert Einstein is often quoted as calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and while the quote's attribution is debated, the math behind it is not. When income is reinvested and allowed to grow, time becomes more powerful than effort. A salary grows linearly. You trade hours for dollars. Cash flow, when reinvested, grows exponentially. Consider real estate, one of the most documented wealth-building tools in modern history. According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, real estate accounts for the largest share of wealth among middle and upper-middle-class households in the United States. Rental properties generate monthly income, benefit from long-term appreciation, and offer tax advantages such as depreciation. More importantly, real estate income often rises with inflation. As prices increase, rents tend to follow, protecting purchasing power. Salaries, on the other hand, frequently lag behind inflation. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics has shown that real wages adjusted for inflation have experienced long periods of stagnation, particularly since the 1970s. This explains a critical truth. Earning more doesn't guarantee living better. High earners often upgrade lifestyles as income increases. Larger homes, expensive cars, private schools, luxury travel. Economists call this lifestyle inflation, As expenses rise alongside income, the margin for saving and investing shrinks. Silent cash flow investors, by contrast, often focus first on asset accumulation before lifestyle expansion. This isn't about deprivation, it's about sequence. Let's look at stress and time, two hidden costs rarely discussed in salary conversation. High-paying jobs often demand long hours, constant availability, and mental bandwidth. A study published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that high job demands and long work hours are associated with increased risk of burnout, cardiovascular disease, and mental health issues. Cash flow assets don't call you at midnight. They don't require daily performance reviews. They don't threaten your identity if one stream underperforms. When structured properly, they reduce stress rather than create it. This difference becomes especially visible during economic downturns. During the 2008 financial crisis, millions of salaried workers lost their jobs. Meanwhile, investors with diversified income streams, rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, and private businesses often experienced reduced income but not total collapse. The same pattern appeared during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, employment income dropped sharply in early 2020, while capital income rebounded much faster, particularly for asset owners. This highlights another advantage of silent cash flow: diversification of risk. Relying on one employer is concentration risk. Relying on multiple income-producing assets spreads that risk across markets, industries, and economic cycles. There's also a psychological shift that happens when income becomes detached from time. Behavioral economists have long studied how scarcity affects decision-making. When people feel financially constrained, they are more likely to make short-term choices that undermine long-term goals. This concept is well documented in research by economists Sendhil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir. Silent cash flow reduces that scarcity mindset. When basic expenses are covered by passive income, individuals gain cognitive and emotional bandwidth. They make better decisions, take calculated risks, and invest in learning rather than survival. This is why many entrepreneurs and investors emphasize runway over revenue. It's not about how much you make in a month. It's about how long you can sustain yourself without stress. Now, let's address a common misconception. Silent cash flow does not mean effortless or instant. Building these systems requires time, discipline, and often upfront sacrifice. Most people who achieve meaningful passive income start while working a regular job. According to a study by Thomas Stanley, author of The Millionaire Next Door, the majority of millionaires in the U.S. are not high-income professionals. They are business owners, investors, and disciplined savers who accumulated assets steadily over time. Stanley's research found that many high-income earners, doctors, lawyers, executives, had lower net worth than expected because they consumed more and invested less. Meanwhile, individuals with average incomes but consistent investing habits quietly built substantial wealth. This reinforces a central theme: wealth is built by ownership, not income alone. Ownership of assets that produce cash flow shifts your role in the economy. Instead of being paid only for labor, you are compensated for providing capital, risk, or infrastructure. The global financial system is designed to reward this role over long periods. Tax policy further amplifies this difference. In many countries, governments incentivize investment through preferential tax treatment. In the U.S., long-term capital gains, qualified dividends, depreciation, and retirement accounts like IRAs and 401(k)s all exist to encourage asset ownership. High salaries face payroll taxes, income taxes, and phase-outs of deductions. Silent cash flow often benefits from deferral, lower rates, or deduction. This is not speculation. It's written into tax code and documented by organizations like the IRS and OECD. Over decades, this tax efficiency compounds, just like investment returns. Perhaps the most powerful advantage of silent cash flow is optionality. When income is not tied to a single job, you gain leverage over your time. You can negotiate better working conditions, change careers, start businesses, or retire earlier. According to a 2021 Gallup survey, only about 20% of employees worldwide feel engaged at work. Many stay not because they love their jobs, but because they cannot afford to leave. Cash flow creates choice, and choice, more than luxury, is what people ultimately seek. So why doesn't everyone pursue silent cash flow? Because it's boring. It's slow. It lacks immediate validation. A salary increase feels tangible. A promotion is public. Cash flow often grows quietly in spreadsheets, statements, and accounts no one else sees. There's no applause for reinvesting dividends or paying down a rental mortgage. But history consistently favors those who play the long game. Warren Buffett earned over 90% of his net worth after the age of 50 primarily through compounded investments and ownership in cash flow generating businesses. This wasn't due to a salary, it was due to patience, reinvestment, and time. If there's one takeaway from this discussion, it's this: a high salary can improve your life today, but silent cash flow can protect your life tomorrow. The most resilient financial strategies don't rely on constant effort. They rely on systems that work quietly, consistently, and independently of your daily labor. This doesn't mean quitting your job or rejecting ambition. It means using active income as a tool, not a destination. It means converting earned dollars into assets that continue working long after the effort stops. And now, I want to hear from you. Are you currently focused on increasing your salary, building cash flow, or trying to balance both? Let me know in the comments. I read every one. If this video helped you see money from a new perspective, make sure to like it so more people can find this message. Subscribe to the channel for deeper, research-backed content on wealth, psychology, and long-term financial freedom. And stay connected, because the next video might be the one that helps you take your first real step toward financial independence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.